After 25 years of marriage, my husband looked at me and said, "I think I want someone younger." For a moment, I thought I had misheard him. I was standing in our kitchen, still wearing my work clothes, stirring a pot of soup I'd made for him, like I had thousands of times before. "Someone younger?" I repeated slowly. He nodded, not even looking guilty. Calm. Almost relieved. As if he had finally said something he'd been rehearsing for years. "You've changed," he continued. "You're not the same woman I married. I want to feel alive again." I wanted to laugh. Or scream. Or drop the spoon and walk out. Instead, I stood there quietly, listening as the man I'd built my life around explained why I was no longer enough. We met when I was 22. He was ambitious, charming, full of promises. I supported him through career changes, financial struggles, sleepless nights. I raised our children while putting my own dreams on pause. I aged, because life happened. And now, at 47, he had decided I was too old for the life we built together. "There's someone at work," he admitted. "She's 29. She makes me feel appreciated." That word hit harder than the rest. Appreciated. I thought of the packed lunches, the unpaid bills I'd sorted, the sick nights, the sacrifices no one applauds. I turned off the stove and finally looked at him. "So," I said calmly, "you want to leave?" "I didn't say that," he replied quickly. "I just think we should be honest." Honest. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, listening to him sleep peacefully beside me. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. Something inside me went quiet instead. By morning, I had decided something. I wouldn't fight to keep a man who thought my value had an expiration date. Over the next few days, he acted strangely polite. Almost kind. Like someone easing out of a contract. He talked about fair arrangements and being mature adults. I listened. I observed. And I planned. What he didn't know was that I had quietly built a life behind the scenes. Years ago, when money was tight, I started freelancing online. Then consulting. Slowly, discreetly, I became financially independent. The house? Bought with my inheritance. The business he claimed was his? Legally, half mine. The savings account? Mostly funded by me. But I never corrected him when he assumed I depended on him. One evening, he sat me down and said, "I think it's best if I move out. You'll be okay. I'll help you adjust." I smiled. That confused him. "Before you go," I said softly, "can I say something?" He nodded, probably expecting tears. "Apologies." "Please." Instead, I slid a folder across the table. "What's this?" he asked. "Documents," I replied. "Property deeds. Bank statements. Legal papers." He flipped through them, his face changing with every page. "I don't understand," he muttered. "I know," I said gently. "You never asked." I explained calmly. About the investments. The accounts. The lawyer I'd already spoken to. How the house was legally mine. How the business would need to be split. How alimony wouldn't be part of this conversation. His mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. "You were planning this?" he asked, stunned. "No," I said. "I was preparing for life." "There's a difference." For the first time in years, he looked uncertain. "But, what about us?" he asked. I leaned back and finally said the words that had been forming in my chest for days. "You wanted someone younger," I said. "I want someone who doesn't confuse youth with value." Silence filled the room. He had no response. He moved out a week later. The woman at work didn't last long. Real life rarely matches fantasy. He tried calling. Then texting. Then apologizing. I didn't block him. I just didn't answer. Instead, I enrolled in classes I'd always postponed. I traveled. I laughed without checking the time. I rediscovered parts of myself I had buried under responsibility. One afternoon, months later, we ran into each other at a cafe. "You look different," he said. "I am," I replied. He hesitated. "I made a mistake." I smiled, not cruelly, not bitterly. Just peacefully. "I know," I said. "But it was yours to make." As I walked away, I realized something powerful. Aging didn't make me less desirable. It made me clearer, stronger, free. And the truth that left him speechless that night still guides me today. I didn't lose a husband. I gained myself. If this story resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe. You never know who needs to hear that their worth doesn't fade with time.